Shepherd's Rest, the org that I am the leader of, temporary mayor until at least January, unless I get voted back into office, because we are a democracy. We're doing elections next month, in December. But any case, we're trying to organize a harvest festival, because you can actually farm now in the game, sort of. Like, you can harvest plants, right? And so I'm out here on Bloom, or Pyro 3, which is where Shepherd's Rest is kind of where we're at, right? And RPNet, along with some other groups, are doing a cargo flotilla when 4.4 drops, like maybe a week or two after it. And we wanted to join them for that, but they did not care about Pyro at all. They were like, whatever. And we want to make sure that we're bringing trade through Pyro. So we asked if we could run the Pyro side of the flotilla and do like maybe 2 different convoys and stuff. And they were like, no, we just really care about Stanton. And we're a little bit upset about that here in Pyro. I'm sure other Pyro orgs might be too, because they're taking trade away from our system. They're going to harm our economy. And I get it. I mean, like, they have their Stanton Nix temporary jump point. Why not take advantage of that, right? I get it. I'm not begrudging them for it, but at the same time, my org is based in Pyro and stuff. And like I said, or I don't know if I mentioned this, I am temporary mayor until we vote, and then quite probably will be I'm the incumbent, so I'll probably get to be mayor again. I don't know if anybody else has nominated themselves, but it starts next month. If you want to join and vote for Democratic leadership of an outpost in Pyro, join Shepherd's Rest. I'll leave a link in the video description and whatnot. Anyway, so I wanted to kind of give a rundown on how this should work. Now, things may change a little bit with 4.4 because they're doing a lot of extra stuff. But, yeah, so first you want to get some clothes that have some decent carry capacity. I found this jacket has the most at 3K, 3,000 micro SCU. And then the pants here have 4,000 micro SCU. You can use armor and get a backpack too. That's totally fine. But, you know, I kind of don't want to always wear an undersuit. One other thing too is they put the binoculars in there, or monoculars, into the game, and I do want to climb this mountain here. I'm gonna make that a goal. So anyway, just wanted to show that off. You're gonna want to first off start by parking well away from Shepherd's Rest. I am about 50 clicks out, if I'm not mistaken. Shepherd's Rest should be off in this direction. And I try to use one of the lakes or giant oceans as like a geographical marker to help me figure it out, like how to get back to my ship. But you want to do that because there's always a chance of griefing, especially in Pyro and stuff. And so it's good to hide your ship a little bit, right? And that's why you want a ground vehicle. Like I've got the X1 Force here. Where's the flight? I guess it's just power on and engine. And I do like this little X1 Force. It is pretty nice. Cool. I've got all my systems up. I did drop a light strike on it because it was small enough to really fit this thing pretty well. If you are driving out there in a hover bike like this, make sure that you get well off the ground. That'll really help you with not exploding. And then we're just going to ease our way down here. Ooh, I didn't get any red on here. So once you're over the water, you can then speed up. And this thing's only going to do about 81 meters per second. But now that we're over water, I can take it down a little bit and speed up. So when you're over water, you're safe from bumps and stuff like that. Like nothing's really going to hit you. Oh, oops. While you're over water, right? Like it doesn't account for waves. Not that there is any current or waves in the water in Star Citizen. I hope they add that later on with the storm effects and stuff, like the next planetary gen. And I'm sure at some point there will be. Because that'd be like a really cool feature. Like if your ship crashes, but it's still floating because it's buoyant. Because you got so much air. You got an air pocket inside. And maybe it drifts. But yeah, so I think this thing can go faster. It's just not. All right, we got a good ways to go. We do have to cross some land, so I'm gonna go ahead and get back to 81, and we're just gonna chill. Just gotta make sure. Oh, one other thing I should have mentioned before I make another clip or whatever is my ship was actually pointed towards Shepherd's Rest, so I always try to make sure that I'm pointing to whatever it is. I think it's 325 on the compass from where I'm at, and that way, like, I know when I log back in or whatever what direction to kind of go. But it's key to keep track of your compass up here if you're way out like I am and stuff. Now I should say I wish that with the X1s that they added like temperature control in here, because as you notice, the cockpit is mostly covered, you know, and like if you've ever been on like a Honda Gullwing or one of the cross-country motorcycles, those all have temperature control. So, oh yeah, this is definitely the right way. Cool. I am going the right way. Yeah. So that'd be kind of nice, and then I would be more comfortable in my just general clothing, because as you can tell over the water, it's 10C. You can see it all the way down there. We might have some rain. It looks like. Be good for the crops, at least. I have a couple of different ways or places that I park to avoid being detected from air. So you got to think about, like, the reason why I parked like 50 clicks out. Actually, I think I'm only 30 on this one, but the reason why I parked so far out is when somebody comes in, they're 20 clicks away, kilometers away from wherever the settlement is, right? And so you want to park far enough that if you were to draw a triangle and do the Pythagorean theorem and all that you wouldn't detect your ship. Now, obviously, there are certain ships that would still be able to detect me no matter what, like maybe the Reliant Sin, the 400i can too, because those ships have radar dishes that are like built for that kind of stuff. Right now, I am just running the Shepherd's Rest channel for the sake of having one, but we do have a position that people can apply for or get nominated for to be our lawyer, which is really just our public affairs officer. And basically what they would be tasked with is running the channel, this channel, so making content for it and stuff. There is a podcaster that joined the org, and I thought they were going to take more of a role, but they haven't really been around too much. I think they did like 2 episodes at Shepherd's Rest, and I haven't seen them online since. So I don't know what's going on there, but you know, it's Starces, and people pick it up. They'll play it for like maybe a year or a couple months, and then they'll put it down and come back to it once some updates have happened. And I think we're going to have some pretty significant player population spikes coming soon, because engineering looks really fun. All right, so when you're over land, you want to slow it up way up. And then if you end up like this, where you're up in the air, just slow. Use your brake and glide back down, because you'll hit the back 2 wings. These back 2 wings here, you'll hit them on the side of things. Or if I go on back, right? So like if there's like a slants behind me, then the wings will hit that. I guess they're not wings, they're like tails. Will hit that, and then they'll break off and stuff. And you don't want to damage this thing too much. It does have a shield, so that's really nice, but you know, you still don't want to damage it. Somebody's been bombing it. Speaking of which, actually, this might explain the Idris out here too. There are a couple Stantonite orbs. Stantonians? I call them Stantonites, because then we get to be pirates. In Pyro or whatever. But they've been really making a lot of trouble for us. We are a very small farming community. So they basically came out here to, like, middle of like nowhere to pick on a bunch of farmers, right? It's very much like if you saw that Rebel Moon movie at the very beginning where they have the farmers and stuff. I know it's a ripoff of Star Wars, but if you see where the like a bunch of farmers got picked on by this big empire essentially, and that's what's going on. We had RPNet got in a huge argument and stuff with us. We had 2 people from GrieferNet join our Discord, and they came out here because I told them, hey, you can actually come out here and you can farm now. Like, you can go harvest this stuff. And they were like, wait, this stuff's harvestable now? And I was like, yeah, man, come on out. I mean, don't grief me. And they were like, yeah, no, it's cool. We just want to try the mechanic. So they came out here. They were very civilized. They didn't grief anybody. They just came out here, tried the food, and were like, that's cool. And they joined our Discord. They didn't join the org. Nobody in our org joined them or anything. Like, we don't really have any affiliation with them. But now, like, all these orgs in Stanton are flipping out because it's GrieferNet and, like, they got stream sniped or pad rammed or all this other stuff that I really don't condone. But for the sake of RP, I get it. For the sake of RP, I get it. There's always going to be terrorism and stuff and crazy people in the verse. So I just look at it like the griefers are essentially like the Reavers from Firefly. They're just crazy people. They spent too much time orbiting our sun here in Pyro and receiving extreme doses of radiation, basically. But regardless, like these bigger orgs that have like 200-300 people are trying to strong arm us into being their puppet. They're saying that we have to deny certain people access to the org and like exclude certain people, and we're not Stanton's puppet. We live in Pyro. We were strong-armed into joining the CFP as a outpost. That's kind of like the lore of CFP is they basically started raiding farms in Pyro and saying, you join us or we're going to keep raiding you. But now we're getting raided by the headhunters, which I don't like that either. So it's like, I do embrace CFP because they're a better option, and I would like to see things out here improve in Shepherd's Rest. Like, we really need some hangars in a hotel and stuff, but I don't take kindly to people trying to tell us what to do. Like, anybody's welcome. That's farming, basically. I do hope that in the future we get to actually plant plants. I want to see some extra vegetables and fruits and stuff and fungi, lichens that I know exist in the verse. I want to see those enter the game so that way I can plant them out here. These fields of space tobacco, I guess that's what that is. You can't harvest those. You can get the Pimbatus here, and then in these little greenhouses, there's other stuff you can harvest. So that's basically it. So I hope we see everybody. Once 4.4 drops, we're going to be harvesting during the Harvest Festival for, like I said, 2 to 4 weeks. And then we'll sell everything in Nyx, and it'll be our way of boosting the economy in Pyro by encouraging people to still trade with Nyx through Pyro, right? Like, we want to show the people of Nyx that Pyro isn't giving up on them and Stanton isn't their only source of food, right? So come out. If you feel like joining Shepherd's Rest and making this your home, we do have an org. I will go ahead and put a link to that in the video description, and we encourage everybody to join.